Good morning and welcome to today's live stream. Today we'll be looking into some stuff going on today. Just so you are aware, we do get the JOLTs job openings in about 40 minutes from right now. So we will get that a little bit after the open. It will be something to react to. As of right now, we do notice that yields are showing they are trying to prove all of the reversal signals that we've been paying attention to as this bundles up in this area. If we wanted to look very simply, we'd see that 4-hour divergence, and that likes to turn around daily charts. So today's data will matter. This means that the possibility of the next uptrend move for the daily chart for the 10-year yield could be here, and it might be dependent on that data, but we're already seeing a slight reaction to that as of right now. So this will be interesting. This means that TLT overall might be heading in the downward direction, and TLT did have all of these big reversal signals above it. We do notice that the 2-hour was showing those reversal signals, which means that the daily chart has a good chance to cross down here. And maybe this is going to cross down and be able to turn right back up. Hey, that's a possibility because we get more data throughout the week. But if this keeps heading in the downward direction, we might see that cause the market to not be too happy here. And then we'll watch out right when they start to actually react to it. Hey, we might see that thing turn around and see some kind of divergence. So something like this is what I'm really looking at as of right now. I'm really paying attention to the yields as we have data this morning. And if you wanted to pay attention to the market with the reaction to that, well, we got some big daily expected moves today. Okay, so if you need the daily and weekly expected moves, the weekly expected moves always in purple. The daily expected moves, they shift every single day. So make sure you're showing up every day, liking the stream. And today we have 605.10 to the upside. 590.44 to the downside. Notice the interesting thing. Isn't that red line right at the wick of yesterday? So I would be paying attention to that. I will be keeping my eye on the futures market because look at that 2-hour. I mean, if this thing really wants to, right, we can see it proven in this. Maybe we end up heading to lower prices. Then we're able to see some kind of double bottom or strong base. If a strong base does not form, though, you could be in a little bit of trouble. Also, we want to pay attention if that's able to test the 5 again before falling. So we'll be paying attention to a lot, keeping this up on the charts for now, but paying attention to the inter-day, I guess, price action that's going on, huh? Glutton for what? How about the price of eggs? We're still talking about eggs? How much more are we losing today? What? I'm very confused. Very, very confused. Spend 3. Oh yeah, we talking about eggs. Well, I'm confused. I don't know what's going on right now in the chat. Not gonna lie. GME looking rough or still looking too long there? Well, you're waiting for the opportunity still for something like GME, right? We're just being patient with it. You're still, you know, the first attempt was right here. You got to be willing to manage the trade, but here's where the next attempt could be. It's still close to that center line. You're still holding this point, but if you start to drop lower from here, then you'd really wipe out all of the signals because you'd start to wipe out the last divergence point. Thank you, Marco. I appreciate that. I hope it works out well for you. If you have any questions about it, and just so everyone is aware, my wife's birthday is this weekend, so I will not be streaming on Friday, unfortunately. Now, I'm going to still utilize Friday a little bit to get some stuff done, so we will be putting an update video out in the course, so thank you for grabbing that. Bird flu is affecting it. It affects it every single year. But thank you so much for buying that, Marco. I appreciate it. And I hope that it is overall helpful for you. Like I said, just once again, if you ever have any questions about it, hey, this is the perfect place to ask that question. What am I getting her? Well, she hasn't had a new phone in a while. So I'm going to get her one of the phones with the stylus thing. She likes that because she likes to draw. So I'm going to get her that. And I have to talk very quietly. And we shouldn't talk about it on stream because sometimes she watches. You hear the baby girl? Yeah, she's watching her show upstairs. Get her some BlackBerry shares. Trust me, she's plenty happy with my trading going on, and she gets plenty of benefits from it. Let's just put it that way. And she gets plenty of outings and stuff. But Yeah, you're kind of right. So GME will pay attention to this. I think AMC is the interesting one right now. It seems like it's trying to make some kind of attempt to confirm, right? We're waiting for the 2 hour to confirm. I'm still gonna potentially wait for that to see a strong bar above the 5, right? You see how we're just really on that 5. So I really want to see that cross up through there. But this is what I'm really paying attention. AMC does not look like bad. Neither GME or AMC look like that bad to me. It just looks like they're having, you know, GME looks like a wonky base. If you have to say it about AMC, I mean, this is one of the weirdest bases I've seen, but it's holding all the signals, right? We're not seeing this MACD plummet. We're not seeing this RSI plummet. So I'd be watching this. Friday might be the biggest day of the year. I know, and I won't be able to be here for it. So it's unfortunate, but I got to take care of wifey. You know, she works really, really hard. And, you know, if you have a baby that's going through a bunch of teething, you'll know what she's been through for the last, like, you know, 4 months. Oil dumping, I thought that was unfortunate. I think this was a hard one to see coming unless you were really watching the futures. The futures here, all you saw was the 2 hour divergence. So the 2 hour divergence led to a gap down as well. So in this area on last Thursday, this is the only signal you got. And it's really formed a bunch of divergence. And then it started to play out. We were like, hey, this could see a reaction up. And it just crosses right back down into negative territory right over here. So this is not fortunate, I would say, because you had great reversal signals and then you get a huge down bar. Pretty much Monday morning. So Monday morning, this should have said like, hey, yeah, this is loose in the 5. And then after that, it's just drifting down. So if you're planning on trying to hold this in here, right, when you have bad signals, it's just unfortunate. You got to take it seriously when you do lose the 9, lose the 5, cross on the MACD, cross on the RSI. It's just a lot of reasons for this to head down now, which is unfortunate because you had some good basing out, right? It was really tapering off here. You saw this big move down and then it just immediately started to taper off and go flat, which is very good, but you lose that 5, you got to be reacting. Bitcoin, I see that that's starting to see a little curl down here. I'm still looking for if Bitcoin could maybe even curl down one more time. Or is he like a higher low? That'd be nice. No, I won't be able to be here on Friday. Wife's birthday is this weekend and we got some plans. Excited to start the course tonight. Awesome, Marco. I love the attitude, man. I love that attitude. I think that's awesome. That's so great. Like, you're excited about it. I think that's perfect. Keep that excitement throughout and then just don't let anything, if it confuses you, you know, just don't let that worry you. We're all a big community here. Come into the chat, ask questions, and we'll try to tackle that with you if you have any questions. Or if you just need clarification, have some other question not related to the course, anything like that. If something comes into the mind from your studies, then you want to ask a question, hey, this is the place to do it. Yeah, let's look at JPM. JPM, we were a little bit worried about this, and then we might go look at Palantir because that was interesting. But JPM, the rejection divergence, so you always want to be aware of rejection divergence. Why I don't like it is because it's not clear to me, right? Because a lot of rejection divergence ends up doing this sideways kind of action. So if this 2 hour curls up, you still would expect positivity, and then that might actually cause that little wave, and then that would be what I'd more react to. But this does still say like, hey, we could lose the 5. I mean, if you look at this, it's going up, the 5-day moving average going up. What's it starting to do now? It's flattening out. So if you start to break below that and use it as resistance, it could start to do this. But if we're able to break above it and continue to hold it, then you'll head in the upward direction, right? This is a pretty simple way to look at it. As of right now, though, you're looking at the daily chart and you're just going, man, that daily's way up there. Most likely this will go through a daily pullback and go test something like 250. No, I haven't, Kamal. I have not, Kamal. Well, I mean, if you're talking about, eggs, that's the only way to lower the cost. I don't know if I saw that, but there's, you know, lowering the cost of eggs is not like some easy thing. We've talked about it before. It's not like, oh, someone can come in and just put a different price stamp. No, it's just supply, demand. And if you have bird flu going around everywhere, you're going to have lower supply. It's just how it works, and the demand's going to stay the same for eggs, right? And even actually sometimes when they see those type of reports, it actually makes the demand go up. As of right now, Palantir, by the way, remember this about earnings. Again, this is a great point to make about earnings. Why did I not take this 2 hour divergence or anything like that with earnings? One, it didn't confirm. on the MACD. 2, it didn't confirm in the price action. The only place it kind of confirmed was the RSI. So really only one true reason here. And then this E down here should tell you, ooh, this could be a risky one, right? Because that could still go in the upward direction if they just give good news. So they did give good news, apparently. That's all I'll read into with it. I didn't really care. Not trading earnings. It's not my thing. Palantir dumped on Nvidia. Yeah, let's go over that. Someone asking about Nvidia this morning. Remember, Nvidia still holding the 2-hour divergence. So not the worst thing in the world, but the 30-minute, if this just keeps doing this, right, we keep going sideways, sideways, and then we drop again. That's kind of what you're worried about. You're looking for that continuation of the trend by crossing down. But Palantir, I mean, it's just a good example of earnings and how you can see those reversal signals, and they kind of just don't even matter because they could say something good in earnings, and that just surprises everyone who is thinking about hitting that sell button. Love living in Texas, having my own chickens. Yeah, Mark, I mean, that's kind of the way to be. That's kind of the way to be. I mean, you know, years ago, I had like 2 neighbors buying multiple chickens at the same time. It's like they could see into the future or something, but chickens are stinky and messy and dirty. They're stinky. We might wait for data with that. Wow, what the heck is going on with these? One sec, something popped up here. I just want to see. No, that's not good. Sorry, Wolf option going insane right now. I don't know what's up with that, but Wolf's actually dropping down, so it's very interesting. We are seeing that positivity from GME and AMC. Looking for AMC to confirm that signal. Looks like it's going to make that attempt right now. We'll see if that lasts for the next 2 hours. Is the crash happening or not? I mean, you have a very complex week ahead of you, so it's very more likely to be confusion, I would say. I mean, just look at the tape and tell me that not one of these things could convince someone to buy eventually. It's like, yeah, if you get bad news and then you go into this and you get bad news maybe, or really it's just bad reaction too, by the way, right? Because there could be a way for people to read into, say, bad news as a good thing, right? Because inflation's a problem, but also we want jobs to be pretty steady right now. So initial jobless claims as well, people could react to that as well. Anything job related, people react to. Friday, I'm sorry I can't be here for it, but non-farm payrolls and unemployment. So if you're telling me like, yeah, if you can tell me right now that every single piece of news that we're going to get this week is going to be bad and it's going to cause a 2% down day every single time, then yeah, you could say crashing. But as of right now, we just need to be paying attention to what's going to happen in here. Are we going to set something up like this still, right? Even if we curl over a daily chart, right? We're pretty close to doing that. We're pretty close to doing that. So we got to be cautious with it. But this could be like a, you know, as far as it goes, when you have bigger implied volatility, a lot of the time you're going to at least see 2 things, all right? There's going to be 2 things that happen throughout the day. You're going to get some kind of rip around moves, like maybe 1 or 2 of them. And the other thing is you're probably going to see a trap, right? So we're going to be paying attention to the next 25 minutes because we want to see if some kind of trap is being set in the next 25 minutes, right? As of right now, the dollar is dropping off, but it's just retesting the 5-day moving average. And the 2 hour is just saying, hey, if I curl up, I'm just continuing the positive trend. So the dollar is kind of suggesting it's trying to make a floor, and if we get some bad reaction to the data, this could start heading in the upward direction. The other thing to pay attention to is volatility, right? Volatility has not crossed down on the 2 hour. Volatility on the 30-minute is down by that center line. We're still seeing if that can cross back up. Now, is that just going to be something very, very small reaction and then it just turns down and we break down to fill the gap? Or is that going to be, hey, I'm turning around, I'm taking out this high, I'm making a new one? And then we'll pay attention to this, right? If that's kind of lackluster, even with a big move, can we see some divergence form? And that's what we'll be paying attention to at this moment. It'll be good. Sorry, her little like music's in my head. 1 hour, 2 hour versus 4 hour. Well, it's just so what you really need to understand about just time frames is there's more price action happening in bigger time frames, and the smaller time frames can give you hints of what those bigger time frames might do. So if you wanted to look at 1 hour charts, I would really be looking at 1 hour and 4 hour charts. Right? What do I like to look at? I like to look at 30-minute and 2 hour charts, right? Because I think they react like well with each other. I think the signals prove to play out on the 30-minute. They cause 2 hour charts to curl up. But the main thing is just the bigger the time frame, the more trades happening within that, right? A 30-minute bar can be as strong as 30 minutes worth of price action. A 2 hour bar has almost 4 30-minute bars in it. So you would expect more things to happen within that. Okay, so there's more volume, so there's more weight behind it. So if you see a 2 hour confirmed down on volatility, I would hold more weight to that than a 30-minute curl up. It doesn't mean you can't see a small pullback and things like that. It's just like, hey, the 2 hour chart is suggesting upside while the 30 minutes suggesting downside. Okay, then that could be a quick move from the 30-minute. I want to see if that fades because the 2 hour is something I hold a little more weight to. Took profit on 40% of my volatility play. Hey, that's pretty good. I mean, volatility overall looks like we could get a reaction at some point, but it's not necessarily looking like the best. But you're still above the 5. You can go fill that gap maybe real quick or something. You're still above the 5. Does that make sense, Jess? That's the only real way I'm reading into it. And really, it might be a thing like, you know, you could like hourly charts, you know, more than I like 2 hour charts, right? It could be good for your trading. I'm not going to tell you you have to do everything like me. That's not the point of this channel. The point of this channel is to get you thinking about better decision making. And if something you notice is your 1 hour chart trades go really well, management of the trades in those goes really well, well, then you might use those charts, and that's perfectly fine, right? I'm not going to tell people there's only one way to trade stock. There's a million different ways. And so the overall thing that we're trying to put out there is just like, you want to make good decisions? Okay, play to your strengths, right? Play to those strengths. But 2 hour and 4 hour is showing direction better. Yes. Now you can see moments just where like a 2 hour crosses, then the 30-minute crosses back up, and then the 2 hour crosses back, right? That's enough strength happening in those shorter time frames to push that 2 hour chart to cross back up. That would be those times where I say, oh, it's a blip, right? It's kind of a fake out. It's a trap. It's a trick. It's a this. It's a that. That's what I overall say when I say blip. But you can see times where, say, this 2 hour crosses, or it crossed down right here, but then the 30-minute, you know, builds up 1, 2, 3 times to where that 2 hour is about to cross back up. You see this cross back up really close to the center line, you'd be like, okay, that 2 hour is going to fail that, right? That's kind of how we manage risk, right? We call it the management of a trade. AMD daily chart. We can look at AMD because I think AMD is super interesting right now. I think AMD is actually like kind of nice. Like, look at this floor it built here. It's really looking like a double bottom. You're holding the divergence from the first point actually way over here. So you have triple divergence. This really looks like the daily chart wants to curl up. The only problem I have with it, and it is curling up, right? People are buying into it. So we can pay attention to it because it's been down for a very long time. But the only thing that's causing me to be like, I probably don't want to do anything with it. Or if I do, maybe I just want to buy shares or something like that and take a smaller trade. I don't know. Is the E, right? The earnings, we don't know. Look at what happened to Palantir. You had great signals with Palantir to drop and it gapped up by 20%. So you see how earnings can totally flip everything on its head, and it can just be, if I think about it simply, a 50-50 flip. And then if I say that and I go, okay, what's my edge in a 50-50 flip? My edge is 0, right? It's 50-50. So at that point, I really do see earnings as overall gambling. The only stock that I've ever trusted with earnings was Apple twice now. Apple twice now has given a golden setup with earnings in the last 2 years, and both of those have played out very, very well. So that's the only two that I've found that have really played out. Sometimes I will do it with Apple because I trade it a lot. But I would, if I'm going to say I believe in these reversal signals and this is someone buying because this is about to go in the upward direction, I just need to understand that position size and the ability to make money, right? But position size would be huge here. That would mean maybe I don't want to bet my house on it, right? But also the IV, right? If that IV, if this is like a lackluster, right? If it's pricing in this and all you get is that, well, then your calls at this level actually might go down in value, right? They actually might go down in value because it was pricing in that big reaction with the implied volatility. So it's going to be it's always tough to make money around the earnings plays. That's why you saw me last week. I was like, I'm not playing the earnings, I'll play the indices. Now this week, we got through some of those earnings, so I'm like, I'm not playing the ones with earnings, I'm going to play the ones without. So you're probably looking at, like if you're looking at Amazon, you're going, oh wow, this looks like a short. Doesn't this look like almost Palantir? I mean, really? It looks like Palantir, and if they just give good news, bloop. So it's just a tough one. And then after all that, like, then that's the thing too. It's like, it could be like a Apple moment, right? Where the earnings could be great. Everyone who is in puts lose all their money, get out of those positions, and then that starts to really fade as people take profit with the earnings. That's a nice P. P for profit. Yeah, so it's just not a game I like to play. It doesn't seem like I can have an edge, so you can see very obviously why I don't like to take the plays, because I like to have an edge. I think an edge is very important. Sailor has earnings tomorrow. That again, and earnings allows companies to falsify things. It really does. Like, how can you tell that they're being 100% honest? And I have to say that whenever you're talking about MSTR. Let's go look at MSTR before. Wait, this one has earnings, right? Let's see. Wednesday after hours. As of right now, good buying pressure there, right? As of right now, good. This was kind of the head and shoulders that we were pointing out could form, right? So this is what we'd watch out for. This is how you probably head lower. Notice that Bitcoin is still testing higher levels. MSTR is not. But yeah, I'd watch out if that happens. Solid little thing going on here, though. I kind of like it, but earnings can be a 50-50 flip. But hey, all you got to do is falsify some earnings like last time, don't you, Michael Saylor? And then people will buy into your stock. Like, part of me is just like, is he going to continue to do those type of behaviors? Or maybe they're actually making money, right? I don't want to say he couldn't have changed, right? I just need to see it proven to me. As of right now, I'm not on the camp that he's a trustworthy guy. That could change, right? People change. I don't want to hold him to that standard forever, but the way he's talking about Bitcoin, like, yeah, just jump in and forget about all your money. I'm like, that is just not something you should tell people. Kind of is, isn't it, Casey? And I like your last name minus the E. Trying to see if TLT or the 10-year is going to pop more with the data we're about to get. In about 16 minutes, we get data. Let me go look at some stuff here. Have I missed the Qs? No. We've been kind of focusing on the SPY. Let's go over to the Qs for a little bit. We can watch that for a bit. One thing with the Qs that we'll watch are the daily expected moves, right? 526.60 to the upside, 509.62 to the downside, really close to the weekly expected move. I was looking at someone I trust other weekly expected moves. They measured that out to our red line right here, pretty much 590.44. So their weekly expected move coming in here. Ours is a little bit deeper, so I still trust my calculations very, very much so. Something that we'll pay attention to for the Qs is if they drop to a lower level, that would be interesting, but I'm going to look at the futures and see if we get any kind of signal down here if that does drop. Remember that the other side to this, remember the bull case, right? The bull case is the 2 hour can cross up and we just get going, right? We take out this high, we head to a weekly expected move. It's just going to be kind of difficult to do that in my opinion. Also, why does this thing turn off whenever I load? It's annoying. But yeah, Qs, there's your weekly, monthly, and daily expected moves. Look at all that value you're getting right there. My goodness. Monthly expected move video, right? We put out a video with the monthly expected move. We're going to put that out potentially this weekend. I am still putting aside some time. I won't have a Saturday video, but I am still putting out the Sunday video to get you guys weekly expected moves, and I'm going to try my best to make a monthly update for you guys with the new monthly expected moves. Meta finally seeing some red. That's a good thing, I think, for Meta. I've thought for a long time Meta needs to retrace this in some way, dude. I mean, I know we get those quick little ones, but come on, man, like this. I think you could go all the way down to like, I think you could go all the way down to here. Actually, this is a perfect level, 630-ish. 630, 631 looks great. And then after that, I would say, you know, 617.82. But for the most part, right, if you're really watching this and you're like paying attention, you're like, where's the support? Where's the support? Well, the support is whenever the buyers really want to step in, right? The support is whenever the buyers can stop this and then turn it back up. And so really all I'm looking for is this, right? That's it. That's all I'm looking for Meta. If it goes too deep, hey, if that goes negative a little bit, or it goes like all the way down to 617.82, there's a lot of space there. Okay, I'm gonna pay attention to a lower high. All right, just trying to use my common sense a little bit there. But yeah, Meta really looks like it needs that 2-hour break. You think Palantir, it's just if sellers can push it down, if people take profit and it fills it, yeah, that's fine. Do I think it's possible? I mean, yeah. Are you asking so that you can take a trade with it and potentially see some downside really, really quickly? No, you got to be good at scalping to do those things. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking that after seeing what happened with Apple. I know. I saw. Not only that, like I kind of caught a glimpse of their CEO talking for a moment, and he was like, "We're doing it, folks. We're doing it. We're doing it." I'm like, "All right, cool." Okay, I gotta move this again. I keep cutting off your names. It's so hard to see who's chatting. When to rebuy. I'm not someone who tells you when to buy or sell. That's just not my game. Nope. So I'm not going to tell you what to do with Pound. It just went through earnings, guys. You have to give that time. There's nothing to go off of there. Just so you're aware, look at your 30-minute chart. It's just a big upward move from earnings. You're in the unknown. There's literally nothing I can say about this stock right now to help you out. There's nothing. So like looking at Palantir, looking at the 2-hour, looking at the daily chart, these things are a waste of time. This thing is screaming to the upside. Hey, it could continue to the upside. This thing could fade right away. Okay, this could fade right away. That does not help me at all. Nothing about this says, oh, yes, I'm going to trade. Like, if anything, I would say a risk to reward play might be here and say, yeah, filling the gap, okay. But it's like, I like to take very certain edge-like plays, right? I want an edge. What's the edge here in taking any kind of position? If I'm taking a call, I'm FOMOing. If I take a put, I'm directly going against what produced from earnings. People will most likely take profit from this. You will see people take profit from this. And you can, if you're good at scalping and things like that, you can figure that out. But there is nothing to go off of for Palantir. I just want to make that very clear. There's nothing here to go off of. You have to wait a few days now. And what I'd be looking for are small pullbacks that lead to upside because the positivity was decided here. So if we don't see this completely flush, which in 11 minutes you get data, but if you don't see that completely flush and this is still in the upward direction, you're just looking for flags and things like that. That's it. You're looking for opportunities. That's not an opportunity to me. It might be to you, right? It might be with your strategy, but that's not to me. Let's see what's going to go on there. Exactly, Hiran. Awesome. Yes, yes, yes. Now for the SPY, we're just looking for that data in a little bit. right? The two things for the SPY are pretty simple. If the 2 hour can confirm up, daily expected move first, this level right here probably next, right? 608 to 610. And then, hey, we could potentially break through to 614 if we can really hold up well. I think we could break up to there, right? But we got to see that 2 hour cross first, because I think you're always in danger at this moment of the 30-minute crossing back down for the double dip. What was my video last night? What was the thumbnail? I like double dips. Double dips are great. They really show you that buyers or Wall Street is willing to defend a certain level. Double dips are great. Higher lows are great. So even if this does produce positivity and the 30-minute gets up here, I'm going to look for a higher low before I actually take the trade, right? I'm going to let people react however they want to data, and then I'm going to let them get tricked maybe in taking put positions after that starts to fail, and then I'll get into the play, right? I want the edge. Can it see 605 this week? Yeah, it could technically see 605 today. I mean, according to your daily expect, look at that red line. It's at 605.10. It could see it. It's just you don't really know what's going to be produced from those numbers in 9 minutes. Wait, was that the SPY? You said the SPY, right? What is Palantir's all-time high? Is it not at all-time high? I think it's at all-time high. Yeah, look at that. Like, yeah, I want to definitely invest now. Not when it had divergence and completely wiped that out and all of that energy got distributed, all of that potential seller energy, people got flipped on their ass and it produced upside. No, I want to try to go for it now. Like, I just think trading Palantir at this level is silly. I think trying to start an investment at this level is silly. I think you're going to see this back off. And it potentially could be by March, right, that it starts to back off. And I'm not saying it has to be like terrible, right? The monthly chart's curled up. Everything's good with this. I'm not saying it has to be terrible. But just as far as investment goes and the risks that are out there in the market, the dollar turning up, the 10-year yield starting to turn up, I'm just going, might not be the best timing. Might not be the best time for a trade. Might not be the best time to invest for a long period of time. That's just it. Like, gotta start to just think a little simple. Think simple. Wow, that's really high up. I want to buy it. Do you ever want to buy something when it's high up? Well, the basic rule is, well, I'm trying to buy things, right? If we really break it down to two things, I'm trying to buy things, and then later on, I'm trying to sell them for potentially more value. If something is already at levels where it has more value than, say, 2 months ago, and it has continued to see more and more value to the point where it's barely even seen pullbacks, then I'd be like, well, this is high up. I would be saying, I wish I got in at lower levels. If I'm saying I wish I got in at lower levels, then why would I buy at higher ones? It's unfortunate. I can't read your name, but me too, bud. I'll look at SMR for you. SMR is one of those times, right, where you've had a solid little cup, solid handle. Hey, we retested that area too. This is great behavior. Look at this. Look at the retest. Oh my goodness, that is such good behavior. And then we do that to take back the 5. We go into a positive trend. Now we're by the center line, and you're going, okay, can this really confirm up? Has it done it yet? No, not for the 30-minute. So that's a big problem. But let's look at the state of the 2 hour and see what that looked like after this big drop. Well, it's still within range of going negative very quickly. So if the 2 hour crosses down, bad. If the 30-minute crosses up, good. We're trying to use the 5 as support, and we're going to probably make an attempt to test this high, go make a new one. Now, I'd watch out for gap fill and things like that. Look out for 30-minute divergence up there. But if this 2 hour just crosses and you don't see any of that positivity kick in, and this just goes like that, you break probably this low. Yeah, you're probably going to test this one, go make a new one. So that's probably what's in store if this can really confirm down. Has to be a good confirmation though, right? You got to see that good bar. Oh yeah, thanks for saying thank you. What has Carvana been doing, right? I don't remember the ticker for Carvana, CVNA. Okay, I always type kava, and I know that that's not right. As of right now, the 30-minute, you're seeing a lot of like squeeze-like behavior, right? We've talked about this kind of behavior a lot, where sellers keep trying, almost like, hey, this could actually potentially even be insiders taking profit. Sometimes you do see that kind of look when insiders are taking profit in some way. So I'm gonna go pick on that for a second. What is this, CVNA? CVNA, I just wanna see what insiders are doing with this. All right, you have a lot of selling, not a ton of buying. Let's see. Sale under equity, sale of security on an exchange or another person after option exercised. Okay. So you are getting some of those moments for Carvana happening in the charts here, which just means potentially insiders are selling in these little moments, which I think is very interesting, and maybe you need to consider that a lot of retail might be holding on to the stock now. And if retail's holding a lot of a stock, I want to be a little bit cautious with it. I mean, look at all the divergence, right? Eventually this thing will pull down, but this is kind of a squeeze, right? It just keeps the slow ticking up going. Okay, awesome. We just keep reconnecting with the 5. Hey, that's great, right? That's fine. We're squeezing overall, but we're coming into some serious resistance now. So this would be a great time to pull back, and you have a lot of liquidity in these to hold you up. So if that pulls back and curls up, hey, what are we looking at? Well, potentially just a little boop, boop, boop. And hey, that could be big. I don't think it'll be that big though. Could be. I don't think it will. That needs to pull back though. Oh man, hiccups are killing me. Let's look at Palantir. I think Palantir is one that people are buying into though. Yeah, see, like, oh, I just retyped it. Let's see, Palantir. Palantir is really, really good, but the only trades in January are sell orders. The only trades in December are sell orders. The only trades in November are sell orders. The only trades in October are sell orders. The only trades in September were sell orders. The only trades in August were sell orders. The only trades in July were sell orders. I mean, all those people were wrong. So take that with a grain of salt, right? All those people were technically like wrong, but they are, overall, there's a little bit of fear there from the insiders for Palantir. They were blatantly wrong though. Which is kind of fun to see. All right, we got 3 minutes till some data comes out. So we're just gonna be watching it for the time being. Palantir could be worth buying later, that's all. Banks are flushing. Oof. Oof, there's some big two. You know, you look at Meta and you're kind of looking like this, and then you see this start to happen for financials. A daily pullback is very likely now. Actually, daily divergence, so, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. That's not a good look. Now, this could be a whole new wave, but we just want to make sure. So this is still holding here. There's no blips or anything like that, so I'm still going to consider it and say, hey, if this crosses down, you got to be real worried about filling some gaps, right? We could be heading to lower prices pretty quickly here, maybe to test breakout, test the gap fill, maybe go to gap fill down here, if not take out the low. So just be watching. This is a little bit worrisome, but this might move around a lot due to the data this week as well, right? Banks see pretty good movement from the data. All right, we got 1 minute. Let's see how this comes out. Long time ago. Never found a chance to get in. What do you guys think about the industrials? Look at Caterpillar. Well, let's look at the reaction and then remind me in a second, Steve-O, okay? Let's look at the reaction to the data in a moment, and then we'll figure that out, okay? I'm gonna oh, no refresh yet. Come on, come on. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Update the data, update the data, update the data. Oh, come on, god dang it. And then all of my stuff, like, ugh. There we go. Yield's coming in at 7.6 right now. And so what we want to see is the reaction from the yields immediately down. The reaction that means from TLT is going to start to maybe climb up. There could be some potential for even divergence at these levels. All right, we'll sit. Interesting. Okay, let's see the reactions here. The freaking SPY. Yeah, SPY not decided just yet. So we'll see. Just paying attention to the reaction, right? I'm not going to read into, as of now, I'm not going to read into JOLTs and say, like, what I think is going to happen, right? I'm going to just pay attention to the price action, and this will prove, right? If I see this divergence here for TLT and that proves to the upside, hey, maybe these signals on the 10-year yield are incorrect. Maybe this is just going to turn down. We have taken back the 5, though. We haven't lost it yet. So as of right now, it's looking all right. Dollar was able to cross down through the 5-day, so that's a big deal. That means the SPY might be seeing a little bit of positivity from that move. And yeah, it's seeing a little bit of positivity, but we're still below the 5. So we got some problems there. Let me go look at this. And then we can maybe look at that chart for, is that Caterpillar? Calls are so much more expensive than puts. Yeah, potentially. It looks like a lot of people trying to get into the call side. We'll see. Okay, where was Alien Physical Silver? I'm guessing the upside weekly expected move on SPY is unlikely now that we're down so much. It seems like you're more targeting the downward expected move, but this could have technically, like, it's not really like a, you don't want to treat it like, oh, it's a hard line in the sand. I mean, it kind of is, but at the same time, you want to be like, okay, that general area, I know that buyers could step in, right? That general area, especially if we have like a daily expected move here, and then you come down into that area and then you tag that, you just want to be aware that it doesn't have to touch it exactly. It's more just to give you that range of like risk, possible, you know, risk here, reward a little bit higher, but you're looking at 32%. Here it would be like, okay, the reward is this, the risk is we end up at the end of the week to here. So it's more like that kind of thinking, I think. More rate cuts and people, and they love those rate cuts. And you're right to point that out. Yeah, I think that we're going to top on that kind of news. I actually think the topping of the market will be based on, hey, oh yeah, we're getting these yields to go down. And then we see a big reaction up, and then people realize, oh, well, we're seeing weakness in the economy and things like that. So I just think that the 10-year yield going down is more of a sign of like bad things, but people will see it as good first. But it's more about how people read into it, right? There's more things going on in people's head than just one JOLTS report. But we'll watch, we'll wait, we'll watch. Yeah, Dixie going pretty red there though. So that's interesting. So that's showing people are kind of going to the positive side here. Unless they're buying into TOT. What did IWM do with that news? Not a big reaction. There's an extreme low here. Very interesting for all of these. Just some very extreme low there. Why Bitcoin was going up? Well, because it got a good reaction from our line in the sand. 91.8K, right? We said that back here. We said if this starts to fall from here, you always have the risk of going to test 91.8K again. And then someone at 91.8K does not want it to go down. That's it. So maybe Mara's going to produce something good here soon. We'll see. Wolfie boy starting to get going. Come on, Wolfie boy. Let's go. Good boy. Who's a good Wolfie? Nvidia, is it producing the 2-hour pop, right? 2-hour pop. This can curl up daily charts. 2-hour pop could be here. Is that going to hit a weekly expected move and fail? That's what we'll be watching this week. It's only Tuesday. You know who might like that dollar dropping off, though, would be gold. Gold with another upward move, violating divergences as well. So gold is just a mean one right now. The dollar is flipping down, so you would expect that positivity. HGX from that news. Let's look at a 30-minute. HGX from that news. Not really reacting. Right? HYG from that news. Little reaction here. We'll see what happens with that. Volatility dropping down again. So this might be curling over the 2-hour chart. This 2-hour fully curls down. Oof, well, we'll see if it can hold up at the gap fill. But other than that, it might be heading lower, right? All the way down to 1504. We'll find out. It's like this could all be a bait to go into Friday, which is kind of sad that I can't be here on Friday, but it's kind of a bait that you can go into Friday, get some bad data. And the thing about Friday, from my understanding, I just want to double check. The thing about Friday that I think is interesting, it's the only piece of data that you get before market open besides like initial jobless claims. Like all the big pieces of data we're going to get this week are all, hey, at 9 a.m. for ISM services PMI, hey, 7:30 for initial jobless claims, okay. But Friday, you're going to get them at 7:30 a.m., which I just think is very interesting. So AMD has earnings. It has great reversal signals. We went over it a little bit ago, but the 2-hour and the daily actually have decent signals there. It's just you have earnings, so it's a 50-50 flip. So all the analysis, I can give you all the analysis in the world. I can tell you exactly what's going on with AMD. We can look at it for 4 hours and really figure out that, hey, that's diverted, that's crossing up, it looks, and then it could just play out to the downside because of earnings. So if you believe in it, that's fine. I always just say what I like to do around earnings. I like to down my position size. I like my position size to be small because I know earnings is a crazy thing and it's hard to make money because it's a 50-50 flip. Earnings today, low volume. Exactly. It's going to be too difficult to see in any earnings. You can't. If it's 50-50, anything I tell you will be 50% of it, and then all the other things I tell you on the bear side would be 50% of it. So I hate to say it, but that's just how it is. It has great reversal signals, just like Palantir had great reversal signals for downside. And what did I say there? That could just gap up by a lot tomorrow. And guess what? It gapped up with all those reversal signals. Nvidia going back to 150 today. That'd be crazy. Really love their products, especially now the 79 XTX is sold out. Hey, that's great, but those are things that should maybe convince you like, hey, maybe this is a level to invest. Like, if you take away options, you immediately take away a lot of the risk, right? And volatility, probably, if you're looking for volatility to see another pop, it's probably looking okay now. I don't think a lot of people are banking on volatility right now. Not a ton. I think there's some. Blue line is the 5MA, yeah. That's one of the little projects I need to fully get done. As of right now, the 10-year yield is not seeing it break below the 5-day as well, so it's still holding. You do futures? We look at futures. I don't trade futures. I might start soon. I mean, shit. Over, what, 51 point something % of trades are happening off exchange, so potentially going to have to switch to that, Mustafa, but we just pay attention to it. I'll be paying attention to it today. That's why it's right here. I'm seeing if we can form anything to give us a little hint in some way. Like if we react to here and fail, is that going to be a double top in some way? Those are just little things I'm going to be watching for. Apple as of now, you could have more time, but it could just curl up into positive territory on the 2 hour. Right? There's kind of two little scenarios there that I think I'm paying attention to, and that's one of them is just, hey, does the 2 hour cross up, right? That's my confirmation. This happens. That's my confirmation. Then maybe I can go target something like a weekly expected move, right? But if this is gonna need some time because the 30 minutes pretty deep here, I'd be looking for a higher low or a divergence, right? I'd be looking for this. Maybe we get all the way up to here and then we see it and we break through. Or I'm looking for fails and then does this. That would be good. If this never happens, it never turns back up, there's no trade there, right? We got to see something like this again. Higher low, divergence, right? To get little pops, to get pops that can turn around and take back that 5, you need to see divergences or higher low. Trust me, I'm itching to trade. I'm itching. I'm really trying to see if like TLT is going to drop here. It's already dropping, but I want to see it a little bit closer. See how right now the Qs, just remember there's high implied volatility today. Where are we heading to? We're heading to a daily expected move. We could just head there, chill out for all day, and then maybe see a big sell or a big buy come in. So I'm going to look at this by the end of the day. Yeah. Troublesome times, huh? It's just the SPY's still below its 5-day. That's worrying. Little ways more to go. Yeah, there's just a little bit more that needs to be proven. At least I think, Noah. But tell me your thoughts. You know, I'm always interested to hear your thoughts. What will range? Or are you saying we will range? You think we will range? I mean, if anything, you look at the Qs, they're actually like, if you kind of look at this, and you do this guy, right? I don't have this up right now, but you kind of just mark those, okay? Then if we probably clone that, we could probably see that down at the low, if we headed lower, where would we go to? Well, potentially that weekly expected move, and all of that could just be a massive volatile flag. Like, pretty crazy, but it could be. So I'm not going to get bullish or bearish too quickly. I'm going to wait for it to be very obvious. Yeah, it's potential. I think the main thing you can just rely on for at least the time being, for probably the next, at least this week and potentially for the next like few months, like the first whole quarter here. I think you're probably still going to see that confusion. And then you're going to go through periods, right? You go through struggle period. This is a struggle period. Do you know what happens after a struggle period in the market? Usually a direction is dictated, and then that direction will hold for a long period of time. You're going to see a trend decided, right? That can happen a lot. That's why even bear markets, they get bear market rallies. Because eventually people decide, and they decide for a longer period of time till something else happens. Yeah. So you're going to see a lot of craziness, and then that craziness will lead to some kind of conclusion, and that conclusion will either be a bull run or some kind of sell-off. And those sell-offs and bull runs usually take place in the form of, you know, just a good trend move, like a good trending move. And then you'll see that go up for possibly just an ABC if it's going to be short, possibly even 5 waves if that's going to be a little longer. Exactly. See, Greg's saying it. It is. I said that to my wife this morning again, and I've said it on this channel multiple. We've been talking about this since this moment here. Actually, I think it was since this moment here. Once we rejected off of this, I go, oh, wow, these trades are just like a bear market, right? You've been behaving like a bear market for a while here, where volatility slightly stays elevated. You're just not elevated enough to really be like downward direction. Bear markets can hold above 20, You're not able to hold above 20 for volatility right now. So you're seeing almost bear market behavior without downside being pushed. Yeah, you're getting super good, and you got a squeeze in it too. Like this kind of like the squeeze that failed is like insane. This is insane for the Qs. A squeeze that failed. That's what you see all the time in bear markets. You see a massive, oh yes, the Wall Street's just like, we're sending it higher. People got too bearish. Okay, and then those people keep trying to short, and then eventually they go, okay, we'll take calls, and it drops. That's exactly what happens in a bear market. It's so fun. Like you can hear me probably getting a little bit pumped because I love it. I think it's the best time for trading. I think it's awesome. Exactly, laughing Buddha, and that's a great thing, right? And we're just your buddies, right? We're your buddies, and you're going, hey man, I'm hammered. Should I drive? And we're like, there's a little bit of risk to driving right now. You're a little drunk. You're a little drunk on bullishness. So okay, maybe don't drive with that. And then you get a little drunk on bearishness, and you go, hey guys, I'm gonna drive. And then we go, I don't know if driving's the best idea right now. You know, you're a little bearish. You know. It's more like weekly expected moves will help you so much in this type of market. It's insane. They're already proving it this week, right? We reached down towards it. You saw that support come in. I appreciate you being here, Laughing Buddha. Wouldn't have it without you guys, right? This whole channel is dictated by the people, and that's awesome. It's just you guys. Just people liking and subscribing, and I think that's awesome. Shoulder for the head, let's see. So DIA, I don't want to read into this too thoroughly, right? Like I guess thoroughly is not the word, but I don't want to read into this too much, but you do still have potential for this daily to cross down, and this could potentially be that right shoulder that could have been. We never violated the high. Now, the thing about this is we built back into the old channel, we retested the bottom of that channel, and now what if we see more upside? But notice that 5-day is starting to curl down. So if we remain below that, that's going to be a problem. And you're pointing out head and shoulders. And I think that's a perfectly fine thing to do because you're seeing this weird price action again, right? You would say something maybe even like this, or even the right shoulder that could have been from the past. And you're going, okay, it's pretty tight. So if this curls down, what do I suggest? Hey, I suggest that trend is going to turn down, right? The trend is going to follow in what it is right now, which is negative. It is a negative trend. So if the 30-minute crosses, bad things happen, right? Now, that could be quick, right? What if it's quick? What if it's like Nvidia right now, right? What if it's quick? It's trying to do it. It's trying, but look where it went to. Look where Nvidia went to, the 5. Okay, that's where we got to pull up a 30-minute and go, hey, if this crosses down, that's still going to be downside. Maybe I see something quick here. Maybe it's a fake out. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. The reason we always say maybe is because there's always two sides to everything, and we're just waiting for the price action, and then we're waiting to react. Spike coming to 602 resistance. VIX may be setting to go. Yeah, and now for the VIX, we're looking for, hey, are we going to fill that gap? Are we just going to go? Are we about to go? Like, we've only seen one trend move, really, for volatility. We never saw the next one produce a higher or a lower high, really. You just saw consolidation that led to more downside. So we're just like, okay, is this going to retest the 5 and curl up? And notice that it's at the same exact time that the SPY is reacting to the 5-day. And is it going to see resistance there? This is your breakdown, right? We really look at this, it goes, hey, we have some levels in here. We use them as support in the past, right? We see this. We see those wicks in there. Okay, so this level might be important. We react up to there. What if we fail and then create a higher low? What if we fail and create a lower one, right? Those are kind of the scenarios we'll look for. And then the other one is, hey, do you burst through that? Do you take this back and do you remain above the 5? That would be good. I think there will be one trap set up today, though. I think the implied volatility is suggesting that. If we were just going to get an upward move, that means maybe this was like this. We see that upward move, and then we kind of just remain there for most of the day. So I think the implied volatility being high, and we haven't seen a rapid move yet, I think you're due for some kind of trap. It's potential. But the dollar's not suggesting that. 10-year's not suggesting that right now. This is where I'm not going to bet on a trap, but I'm going to be aware that there could be a trap in the morning. We're just not seeing trap behavior. Hey, Laughing Buddha, thank you so much for the $5. Really appreciate that. Hell yeah. Thanks for shouting out and saying you appreciate the stream too, buddy. I appreciate you being here. I would love some buying ops. I would too. I would too. I think the only real buying opportunity was the potential short on TLT going into today. All gaps getting filled around intraday could be a warning. I mean, this gap happened what? From Friday to Monday. We're already filling that right away. People pretty bullish there. Like, just willing to catch that and buy it up. I mean, most likely it was this buyer kicked in, and then these people are trailing it up, but Canadian dollar has taken quite a beat. Hey, that's okay. That's okay. Every dollar counts, right? I respect even if you gave $1, $2. I don't care, man. I think that you guys work hard for your money. I'm never going to disrespect you by just being like, oh yeah, I expect money. You know, that's just not my game, man. I appreciate, I'm grateful at all times for this channel, for this community. So may help with the egg premiums, yeah. The move is too vertical to sustain. No double bottom to grab enough liquidity. Exactly. What was the thumbnail yesterday, Greg? I like double dips, and I think, Greg, I think you like double dips too, based on that statement. What do you say? I think you like double dips too, buddy. I like me some double dips. I'm not the biggest fan of ice cream, but oh my God, Noah, really? Hey, I'm fine with being wrong, right? USA, gambling will go down when we are looking at DraftKings because people are running out of money. I think the opposite might be happening. Well, it's going down. I don't know the reason it's going down, but we were just saying how it's likely to see something here go down. But it's having, I mean, that's going to be a pretty damn good confirmation. You got a confirmation here. That's technically a negative bar by 1.33. Negative bar here now. If that holds, it's saying downside's the most likely thing until earnings, right? Anything can still happen with earnings. I don't want you to think like, oh, this has to go down with earnings now. No, people, most likely, they could have good earnings. Why? What goes on in the last few months? You have football, you have European soccer, you have soccer in general, you have basketball, you have NBA, you have college ball. There's a lot of gambling that probably took place over like that Christmas time. So this might be a very good, I would suggest, in thinking about it, this would be where they could produce some good numbers. But hey, anything can happen. They could produce good numbers and it can go down. I'm still not going to trade it, even with that style of thinking. Not going to do it. Nope. Just like you guys, I respect your guys' money, and I respect even a small donation because you guys work hard for your money, right? I respect big and small donations. I respect my money the same way, right? Everything should be here first, right? Yourself first, your family first, and then if you do those behaviors in other aspects of your life, you're going to be okay. Right? The reason I respect other people's money is because I respect my own money. So I understand how hard I work for my money, and that allows me to understand how hard you work for yours, and that causes that respect. I think that's great. So the reason I'm saying that is because earnings is a 50-50 flip. What am I doing? I'm respecting my money by not taking a 50-50 play. And if I want to do something there, I'm going to respect my whole, say bankroll by not using a very large amount. But it is your money. Respect it however you will. Do whatever you want with it. Well, it's just, but the gambling options they're allowing and the memberships that they're giving only allow people like every month to take a very bad play. I was talking about this with my buddy because he took the membership thing. And he was just like, yeah, the money, the trades they allow you to take, or the bets they allow you to place with that like free bet or whatever every month is like garbage. It's like a 11 to 13 parlay. That'd be dope. I think that'd be cool. Here's the thing, man. I would love to go to Canada. I've never been to Canada. I would love to go there, right? One of my teammates in soccer, he was from oh shoot, I don't remember what he was from. But he was from Canada and he spoke French, and he's just one of the nicest human beings I ever met. He was just a super nice guy. He was one of the only people that would call me randomly and be like, hey, can I get advice? Like, I was the team captain, so he would be like, hey, will you work on me with this? Like, just a great person all around. And that's my introduction into, say, Canadians, right? So I would love to go to Canada and just experience what it's like. I don't think that would happen. Oh, maybe it was Quebec. Yeah, I think it was. I think he still lives in the States, though, now. Yeah, like, don't come. It's India, not Canada. I think it's those areas. There's certain areas, right? Certain cities. Strong reversal on oil. Uh-oh, that's the inflation play maybe coming in. Or maybe oil is reacting to the 10-year dropping for a moment there, but wow, what a reversal from oil. Wow, that's not an accident, I don't think. Unless that the whole thing fades, I don't think that's an accident. I'm shorting Sailor into earnings. To me, it looks like debt is through the roof. Let me go look. Let's go look. Let me look at this real quick. Let me go look at the options, what people are thinking is going to happen with this by Friday. Let's do that. MSTR. There's no way this has puts all through. Oh, it's all calls. 372.50 is the call wall. Total open interest 428.3K. 22,000 of that is sitting at 372.50, just so you're aware. And then nobody really shorting it. I'm gonna go look if puts are cheap. I'll have some fun with you. We'll break open the fun account. I'm not gonna do anything crazy though. Don't expect me to do something crazy. I just feel like I've talked enough crap on it before that that maybe I should put my money where my mouth is and take one on the chin if I'm really gonna be wrong. Oh my god. Yeah, what is the implied fall? Oh my god, 108. This is just oh god. That's so expensive. If I want to take out the money for this Friday, it's going to cost $1,400 for a contract. Justin, thank you so much for the 420. I'm not even going to look at your message. I'm literally not reading your message, and I know what you want to look at because the donation was 420. I already know, okay? And I'm telling you, this is making a floor. I genuinely think, you know, we've looked at this, what, once a week for the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks now? Every single time around the first time, we're like, hey, see if it's trying to make a floor in some way, right? See if it's trying to make some floors in here. Floor, floor, floor. Okay, are we going to see it happen? Are you going to see this daily be able to cross above here and confirm and not give it up, not give it up, not give it up? We have great reversal signals here. I'm just telling you, this really looks like we're going to see some kind of reaction to take out this high, potentially test breakdown area, or even get to 483. Right? I don't see an E down here. If there's an E down there on your chart, you tell me, okay? But I do not think that this looks bad. Now, do I think this is like the easiest option play? Well, look at the activity now. You could catch one of these moves, okay? But I think during the way up, you probably say, hey, yeah, I'm going to take profit at these 3 resistances, right? Just to make sure you make some money on the play. That's what I like to do. But you know, do it however you want. If you really believe in it, you think it's going to see some massive move. I think the weekly chart's going to cross up. That's what I think. I think the weekly chart's going to cross up, and at some point in the next, I would say, month, or I would say 2 months, you're going to see 483 tagged, and you might even see something like 627 if it's really good over the next 2 months. I'm not saying right away. That's why I'm just like, option, I don't know about that. Maybe it's like I try with an option, but you know, sometimes I'll try an option if I see a quick move. But I could just take this as a potential investment for a few months. I don't think it would be bad. So, and you just want a solid confirmation. You're above the 5, you're above the 9, solid confirmation. Let's get going, man. The 2 hours finally going positive. So, And then, if you're taking an option especially, you want to be managing the trade, right? This has very rapidly turned down after even good little moves, good move up, rapid turn down. So just be aware, managing risk will be very important. It didn't even continue the positive trend last time, and it was pretty positive, so you got to treat this very carefully. I love that I don't even have to look at, you did say MSOS. I just did all that analysis. I didn't even know this is what you wanted to look at, but I looked over, I saw 420, and I go, I think I know what he wants to look at. All right, so here we go. And what we can do is maybe even look at a 5 minute, see if we have little forms of divergence or things like that. You're only seeing it on the MACD, not on the RSI. But you see how we're just doing this. This is not good buying. This is almost inviting this to happen. We'll see if we can break to the upside, but it's kind of inviting like, hey, if we break this low, we break this one, we're probably beelining for something like 590. I want to look at the, let me look at the puts and the calls for today as well, before the market open, that is. SPY. I forgot to do this morning as well. I got to put this in my thing. 621, a big amount of calls at 621 for today. Someone was really sure of something. A bunch of people were. 609, that one makes a little bit more sense, but I think people are YOLOing stuff. And then 605, so 605 does come into play, it's just not very big. 599 is the put wall, and you just got above it. We'll see if that lasts. And then the next point is 590. So if you want to see those levels, by the way, just real quick, here's your 599. We're at 600 right now. You see that 605 kind of has some accumulation there. We see 609 a little bit bigger. Some people YOLO'd 621. I don't know if they're going to be right. That sounds very unlikely. Very, very, very unlikely. But you see the put wall. You see the next one is overall 590. So those are just key levels to pay attention to. It doesn't tell us a lot. The price action will tell us more, and then we can pay attention to those levels. It's very nice. Very nice. Miguel, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate you being here, bud. Thanks for subscribing. Oh yeah, replay it, because I went through it for a bit, Justin. Go back and find it. IWM, need it past 226 today. Let's go look at IWM, see how it's behaving. Very rough spot, 226. Very rough spot right now, because that's the exact test of the 5 day. So you're kind of hoping like, and this is why we don't like hope for the most part, but everything's in your favor. The 30 minutes in your favor. The only thing that's not is the 2 hour yet. That's the ultimate cross up, but that's more to get to 229.89, right? What did we say for IWM? IWM, even when this was forming, we were like, this still looks like a great left shoulder. And so if we do see a dip down, kind of why I took profit up here. I was saying, hey, can we build up and curl up? Hey, we failed. Goddamn hiccups, man. So this looks like a good left shoulder. If we can get that reaction up, maybe we need to make a floor first, then get that reaction up, then we see that curl down, then we head to the upside. Wouldn't that be confusing? Oh my God, it's crashing. This is a quick move down. Holy crap, they're buying, it's going back up. Oh, we just got rejected again from here. We're definitely going down. We gapped down from there last time. Oh wait, this turned around. Now we're bullish again, right? People are going to struggle to trade like water. You're going to struggle. You got to be quicker in these type of movements, right? Trading like water is the best thing to do in this type of market right now. And this is like bear market training. I swear, this is like bear market training right now. It's awesome. It is so great to see this at the first part of the year, because now you're getting a taste. You're getting a glimpse of it. That's awesome, Eden. I'm glad that, maybe you just made that change a little bit ago, but I think that's great. I think that's great that you're pointing out like, hey, I just opened those up and now I'm a lot less stressed. Your price, every trading comes with a little bit of stress. I'm not going to say I never get stressed, but we can see how opening up the time frames does help a lot. Your course has been amazing. Thank you so much for saying that, Eden. I'm glad that you found it helpful. I trade on fib levels, period. There's a lot of people that are successful with that, Greg, and I'm glad you are. The weird part is the nerd in me wants to be like, I want to know how you do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to know exactly the things, like your reasons for a trade with your fib levels. But it might just be this. It might just be decision making. Like there are some people who just use fib levels, look at the market, look for these type of moves, and then go, okay, I'm looking at my fib level for to buy, and then they just buy it at that level. Like some people are just good at dictating like very obvious, like, hey, we're going to pull back here. We mentioned that stuff too, right? But we show more the risks and things like that. So I think it's cool. I would love to learn even more about fib levels. It is something that I would love to learn more about. Mainly, I just use my golden pocket. As maybe money. Greg, we gotta have a chat sometime, buddy. We gotta have a chat sometime. I want to see it. You say you're making money. I want to make money too, man. I love making money. If you can give me another strategy for a certain kind of like time, that would be great. I just love multiple strategies, right? I love like just the simple swing trades. I love just like simple decision making sometimes. Sometimes I just love those divergences by those weekly expected moves, and I think that's the best one for me. I don't know how. Oh, you can do the email, and then you can email me first, and then we can maybe figure something out. I just want to hear your thoughts on some stuff with that. I just think it's interesting, and I want to learn more, right? This channel's about learning. I'm still learning too, right? I try to learn all the time. Where's the email? It's in my about section of my channel. If you go click in there, and you can just shoot me an email real quick. I think some people were supposed to email me yesterday. I need to check. Sorry about that. I need to check this morning. Let's do 30. Let's do... No, I think 5 minute might convince us to do some stupid stuff. So I'm going to leave it on a 30 minute. TLT still holding at lower levels. So the 10-year not able to drop below the 5. You're seeing that start to wick up there. So bond market overall saying, still looks like the rates might need to go higher. Interesting. IWM to break down, we really got to see this thing curl down into negative territory. 15 actually might be your friend here. We'll see. Right, 15 might look nice and curvy. Solid little floor here, though. You're looking for that extension to take back to 5. People overall, oh, that's not what you want to see. You kind of want people to go to the call side. Dollar's not turning around either. Look at that thing. So, buying, buying, buying. HGX starting to like it. HYG still holding at higher levels, but HGX starting to like it there. So this might be a good reaction continuing for the market at this point. See if we can get there. Right? We don't see anything that really says like this has to fall down besides like does it reject, right? Everything's kind of pointing to this would be likely. But we never know, man. This could do that before it actually takes place. There's some big, big stuff. What kind of time frame do these guys have? Each one can have different ones. Just depends. If they're not giving you a time frame, then I would just see what happens with the actual like market with it. Why here? This seems fishy. I'm gonna look at data for a second. Something's weird here. Like the yields are going to try to drop on us. Pretty flat. Chilling. VIX still dropping. Still hasn't gotten to the 5-day yet. Jeez. The Dow trying to get its next little curl up here. What happens with that? How's Apple doing? Apple showing some good positivity there. Tesla's in a rough spot. Amazon with the breakout again. On the 2 hour, there's that 2 hour move off the 5. And Nvidia. Nvidia trying to confirm it in about 50 minutes. AMD as well, trying to confirm it on 2 indicators, not the MACD, so the lagging one's lagging behind. So for AMD, this one's lagging behind. Even with the earnings there, it's lagging behind on the confirmation. But Nvidia confirming it, trying to right now. Just not taking back the 5. I'd really like to see that, as they're so close, I'd really like to see it take back that 5. In 50 minutes, you might see a confirmation for AMC as well, saying, hey, we could make a attempted move, or the daily could attempt to cross here. Then you just see if it fails, right? We're just reacting like a regular trade. And the other one was Wolfie Boy. Wolfie Boy going a bit nuts there in the options. I don't know. I feel just gonna do something. It's too uncertain. Go, Wolfie. Go, go, go. Nice. Dude, I'm pumped. Isabel just went to buy target Microsoft. AMC, RGTI. RGTI is doing good. Let's look at Microsoft first. We pay attention to that one. Let's look at that one. This was a bad drop. You're not necessarily seeing any kind of divergence in the near price action. You're seeing us lose the divergence point here. So there's too much going on here to consider this the floor. If you want to open that up, it's fine. You just need that proven on a 4-hour chart. As you can see on the 4-hour chart, we're almost holding the first one on the MACD. You're holding it on the RSI. You're holding the first one here. So the second one is what you're not holding on the MACD, actually. So if that 4-hour can curl up, you might see a decent move. But I really want you to see the lower high. We could be in a form here where you're going to see this do some interesting stuff and get tight first, right? We can kind of see what this thing's doing. Probably not at that point. Probably just want to keep this upward one and just see if that's broken at some point. But you do have the opportunity to fail, right? This is a 4-hour chart. Look at the 2 hours deep. So that means a failure here is very likely, right? We break through a zone with a big gap. We go up into that area. Maybe we fail again. I'd be looking for that floor in the near price action. I don't think it looks like garbage, but you have to understand that the daily chart is turned down and going negative. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. But things turn around all the time. Things do a 2-hour relief little thing all the time. So we'll see if it can relief and then hold it, right? And then we're looking for those little 30-minute pullbacks. I mean, reacting to here would be great. You get a big reaction, you curl down into this zone, then you curl up, left head, right shoulder. And then the daily's probably going to curl up if that happens. So there's a bullish way up and a bearish way down all the time. And what was the other one? Someone just brought RGTI. That's right. RGTI is the one that I kind of like. Oof, that's a mean rejection though. Yeah, I think I'll just wait till the daily curls up. This is one I was just thinking about, like, possibly even investing in. I want to look at a weekly. Yeah, weekly is too high though, and earnings coming around the corner, so I can't do that. It's unlucky. All right, we are finally testing that 5-day moving average. Let's go. Remember, again, we haven't really shown ourselves the floor yet. If this is going to be a floor now, then we should see those buyers step in and see a higher low. All right, we should see this extend and give us that higher low. If we're not going to see that, we're going to see this reject, then we might see a divergence at some point here. Dollar hasn't dropped more. No, I'm kind of the same, Iran. I still think they're at risk of seeing bad things. I still think that most stocks, even if it's quantum computing, AI, chips, whatever you want to say, I think all stocks are vulnerable here when it comes to tech in general. And I think they'll be affected by that sooner than you think, and that's what I think at this point. So I'm just being patient with it, and like you, enjoying looking at the movement of the chart. If I see a daily cross up, I can do something, but now I have to run into earnings. So earnings is not something that I necessarily want to be a part of. They kind of are, Goonie. I haven't taken a play on it yet, right? I had Ion Q for 1 for that last push higher. And then I was expecting a sell-off, and it ended up happening, so that's good. But oh. What up, Chris? Let me go look at some stuff. Oh, Wolfie boy, we need you to curl up on a 2-hour. You got divergence, buddy. Come on, Wolfie boy. Get up there. Get in now. Yeah. SMCI. SMCI with a interesting 2-hour divergence as well. Pretty tight. But you got all of those semiconductor stocks with those divergences right now. So I want you to look at this. Nvidia, 2-hour chart, divergence. Where's our buddy AMD? AMD, 2-hour chart, divergence. SMCI, 2-hour chart, very tight, but divergence is there. Kind of wild. And this earnings is next week. Very interesting that all of those have the same divergence at the same time, isn't it? We'll see. Still doesn't mean we have to play out to the upside, right? There's a way to head down. Hope everyone green today. Same. Waiting for new opportunity. I just think it's like there's just risks that come into play. If the daily crosses up, you can see positivity though. Like, you know, don't take it for granted, but what is this? IVVD? What the heck? I mean, really, you can retrace however you freaking want, but this 30-minute is likely to make another move higher. I mean, you have a bunch of divergence, so you just want to see that it's proven to turn around, but you can see that curl down and curl up. I'd be paying attention to, you know, gap fill already got there, right? So I'd maybe be looking at this, maybe looking at this, if not looking at that 5-day come up, and then you go down to that, curl up into positive. Like, really, you're just looking for that, and that might be a short-term opportunity. Might be a quick one. That's about all I see. 2-hour crosses down, you're probably not as happy because that could give up the whole move. 2-hour trying to cross up there for the Qs. It's almost there. Are the Qs at their daily? The Qs are almost to their daily move. The SPY's not, and it's not able to take back the 5. So this could be a time where either the SPY catches up and the Qs keep seeing positivity and go past their daily expected move while the SPY goes up. Or this could be a time where the Qs are already at their daily expected move and you could see the SPY reject. So there's kind of 2 things I'd be paying attention to there. Tesla, some people bringing up Tesla. Tesla as well, 2-hour divergence. Remember we were talking about the short-term divergence that could form? This is where you're waiting to see if that's proven. Right now it's not. Right now it's not. Right now the 30 minutes pretty deep. Even if that keeps building up slowly, that could just cross down and then we'll see if a floor is created. If not, you might end up all the way down to 357, right? 357.78, 360. Thank you, Lucas. Alrighty, let me click over on some stuff. Let's look at HGX. Not really holding that positivity too well. HYG not getting too positive. Dollar still just dropping off though. Dollar still holding at those lower levels. Filled the gap, got rid of all the divergences. And people are still trying to go to the short side a little bit here. Like really, is one big down day all they needed to convince people to go bearish? Apple's moving right now. Apple is moving, man. Still below the 5. No strong base confirmed yet, but looking for that 2-hour to cross. Apple, you can convince me, bud. Just give me a little bit more. Tricky Dixie, that's right. Trixie Dixie. And Palantir's holding the move too. That's impressive. See, AVGO is actually a good example. Okay, let's go talk about AVGO for a second. So if you look at this 2-hour, it crossed. You're aware that the 2-hour crossing down would be a bad sign. We could gap fill. We could go a little bit lower. We could go to 185.57 if it's going to get pretty bad. Now, what I would overall say about this, though, is if it's going to do this and actually take back the 5, which the SPY isn't, so that's what I'm kind of talking about here, then you'd need to see that good move from the 30 minutes to take it back, and then you can just retest the 5 and then curl up and possibly see that go higher. So as of right now, you're trying to go higher for AVGO, and it's being proven by your MACD and your RSI. If that reverses back down, hey, you're aware that this could be in some way bad, and the 2-hour could cross down here. So if this starts to lose that 5, right, we lose that 5 in some way, that's not going to be a good sign. But the 30-minute is trying to make that higher low to say, yes, this is a base. This whole thing here is attempting to be some kind of base. I dig it. Diggle it, dig, diggle it, dig. Uh-oh. We didn't make it to gap fill. Well, yeah, it's all on the back, Goonie. It's all on the back of what, 10 stocks? BlackBerry? BlackBerry, do you get anything interesting? Well, BlackBerry is kind of setting itself up for like potential for a sell-off. I don't think a sell-off has come. Look at the squeeze-like stuff going on here. A lot of squeeze-like stuff going on, but that daily, hey, that says, hey, we're supposed to be pulling back. It's squeezing. That's pretty much what this says, right? When the MACD is just blatantly coming down, not crossing up, but you still see positivity, it's overall squeezing. So someone is trying to short this, I think, and they are not succeeding. Or you're seeing retail buy-in at the highs, and those insiders are potentially selling in these areas. We can maybe see what people are expecting for BB. 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 Yeah, huge amount of calls for 450. So this is a big call wall right now. I mean, the thing is, with these type of stocks, you have 30,000.7, 30.7K total open interest. 15,000 of that is at one point at 450. So that's your call wall, but there's just not a absolute megaton of open interest here for the week. Jesus, some funny stuff. BlackBerry been doing me good. I assume so, yeah. Because it's been squeezing, so keep doing it. Most of the time with things like this, though, the party starts to stop. Run, stop. Remember Meta? Remember Meta when it sees that behavior? Stops. Stops. And then we kind of got rid of that behavior after this moment. But this moment right here reminded me of it. Didn't Amazon as well have a moment like that? I don't remember. Yeah, Amazon had that as well, right? It just kept going up while your indicator's pointing straight down on the daily. And then eventually a little divergence pops up its head on both the MACD and RSI at the same time, and then boom. You see a pretty decent sized drop there in just a couple, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Okay, I pulled that below. That's not fair, guys. I cheated. Oh, actually there is a wick down there. That's why I did it. Okay, so in about 2 to 3 weeks, 12% down. So you could see one of those moments for BlackBerry. Didn't BlackBerry have a short seller problem too? So it could be more than 12%. Wolf doing nicely. I have 200 shares. Nice. I have a little option playing Wolf. Oh yeah, I need to check that. I'll check it with you guys. And then we'll go look at, yeah, I'll look at it for you, Sid. Give me a moment. See, that actually turned down. That's interesting. For it to turn down, that's suggesting that the job's done and they're not very fearful of an upward move. So that's interesting. I liked the fact that it was turned up. That's why, with the reversal signals, I was pretty confident buying the damn thing. But now that it's turning down, I'll have to watch it closely and see if it reverses back down pretty quick, which I think that moment might be like soon. We'll see though. It looks good. If it continues to look good, I'm going to hold on to it. And then what was it? HUBC? Cybersecurity. Solid upward move. You know, for me, I'd be the one waiting for pullbacks. You know, pulls back, crosses up, fails, pulls back, crosses up. Right here with the price action and the RSI very strong. That's why I'm pointing it out. You're just seeing the continuation after the MACD also confirmed that. So good stuff. See if you can run. But if you're not going to run, then you're probably going to see this 2-hour curl down, and then that might be a pullback, right? This was just a 2-hour pullback, crossed up. 2-hour pullback, crossed up. Now that one went deep, so I would be more scared of this one than this one. And notice that this one's actually the one that, actually now that I look at it again, I'm like, okay, this is the one that technically failed because it made the lower high, because it was deeper into negative territory. So then you see it hold closer to going positive, and it's positive almost right away. More positivity, you beat the high, you go make a new one. That's great. I just think patience with that one if I'm not already in a position is the move. But if I'm already in a position, I'm happy with it. Looking for reasons to potentially take profit or hold on to runners. MSOS has a, hey man, MSOS looks pretty good. What's the option pricing there? I'm not gonna probably put anything into it, but I'll go look. Pricing's good. Pricing's really good. Pricing is insanely good. Pricing is like really good for MSOS. That it just worries me taking an option play. I mean, you're already seeing that falter again. You're kind of stuck in a range on that 30-minute. 2 hours producing, but also giving up some of the move right now. So every trade comes with some risk. I don't think I'm willing to take that one just yet. Hey, that's good, Willow. We like to hear that. That's good. All right. I still really like double dips. Come on, give me a double dip, baby. I'm down. Oh, my freaking eye. I gotta go get some lotion. Dollar is really not confirming up on the daily. That's for sure. That daily bar looks like it's coming down, down. You're getting no reaction up whatsoever. That's crazy to me. Yeah, we can look at plug, and then I might have to hop off. So plug. I mean, plug made that 30-minute take back the 5. That's great. That's actually great for plug. 2 hour, a bunch of divergence at the low. So confirmation here, technically. But really, the confirmation was here. 30-minute turns down, maybe a management of the trade. Yeah, this is managed trade. This is curls down. This is fake out. Yeah, you might have had to manage a few times, but then you manage again. You see that curl up, and but this bar right here is the go bar again. And now you're seeing if you have to manage risk again, but now you're taking out the highs, taking back the 5. It's a lot different now. So that's great. See if a daily's crossing up. Just pay attention to the fact that the daily is down there, right? It's negative pretty significantly. Not terrible, but significant enough to be like, okay, lower high is something that I'd be watching for on the daily chart, unless this thing just goes nuts. But yeah, I don't think that looks bad. Management of trade, you know, you've had to do that a couple times in this type of scenario, so just be aware of that. And it's more just like, what do we do a lot of the time? Well, if this continues to go up and then it crosses like this, well, that could just be a retest of the 5 at that point. This might be like, oh, take some profit, leave some runners, and then see if this thing can keep that positive trend over time. Because it changes a lot. It changes a lot when your MACD starts to get through levels like this, right? It changes a lot because you're not as close to that center line at all. You're actually, you know, potentially way up here if you see that positivity, which would mean pullbacks are very likely. Yeah, I don't mind that one. And then we'll look at, you know, and then I actually do, I think I have to take off. Nice. Okay, good. I'm glad we're just bouncing off each other there. I think that's great. You're trying to do something here. You're trying. Now, you see the reversal signal right away. You see how if this fails, it might be worrisome. But you also see how that could be bullish, right? You see this. You see on the 30-minute left head, maybe the right shoulder forms. Maybe we go fill that gap and then see it, right? Retest the 5. That'd be great. Do this. Now, I don't think this is in the clear yet, right? I don't think this is in the clear. Like this, a little bit higher up. Okay. Okay, right? A little bit higher up, positive territory on this one. Okay, we see positive price action. So if that can remain positive, that'd be great. So if this flashes negative, you still have to treat it seriously. And then if that turns back around, ready to react. As far as the 30-minute goes, 2 hours is going to be wonky in here a little bit. 2 hour actually trying to confirm up. So if you start to take out this high, we can go make a new one. I don't really like the buying in this yet, though. I think you really need one of those breakout kind of moments. But you do have daily divergence down there, so everything about this is saying, hey, we're going to try to head up. Right? You just have a lot of resistances above you. You have this. You have potentially even this, then this, then... No, we already covered the wick. Then potentially this. Then potentially this, then potentially this, then potentially this. But if you can just move that stop up every time, that would be probably the best case scenario there for you. Nice channel here. That was the daily double bottom. Rejection divergence, so nice. You have daily divergence here. That's nice. Daily rolls down. Maybe we see a moment like this one. It looks pretty similar, doesn't it? The buying pressure is kind of not the best. We already saw a little dip down. So I actually think it looks pretty good. I don't mind it. Am I going to put an option behind it? That's where I think you could get a little risky. But if you wanted like, hey, if this could run to $6, I mean, technically, what is that? That's, what, 44 is 10%. So that's almost like, what, 30%? Almost, yeah, that's almost like 30%. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, and I saw you mention Peloton a few times, so we'll look at that too. I'm trying to give a little bit here. Daily is very negative, so that's a worrisome sign. Now, you're aware that structure can form, right? So you're aware of this. That's how we'd probably want to fall down again. You have that earnings there, though, man. So really, if this is right now, I can't really talk about it. All right, this is going to be Thursday morning, so anything can happen in a couple of days. That's the truth of it. I can do all the technical analysis in the world, and I'm sorry that at this point you're asking about Peloton. It's just with earnings around, I would have rather you asked about Peloton here. This is a 2-hour divergence. That's 2-hour almost triple divergence probably. Maybe you ask here. That's 2-hour divergence, right? You see these very clearly. 2-hour divergence, big drop. Divergence on the MACD, divergence on the RSI, very significant, big drop. Look, divergence all across the 2-hour. Once it gets close to the center line, hey, we get one more. Oh yeah, it's going to save itself. Nope. But there's your divergence point there. Between all this. This one was a little bit more complex, but this is where those questions were better for like, hey, what's Peloton likely to do here? And the reason that that's better is because there's no E right here. Right? E's down the line. As of now, this could be, hey, if they put out good numbers and people like those numbers, they'll buy it. And then if they put out bad numbers or good numbers and people still sell it, right? It's still a 50-50 flip anyway that they really report. So you got to treat it pretty seriously. All right, guys, I do have to take off today. I do appreciate it. Just a quick note again, on Friday, we will not have a live stream. And on Saturday, we won't be putting out a video. I do have my wife's birthday. We have a bunch of stuff planned. So I appreciate you guys respecting that time with me and my family. But on Sunday, we will be putting out a video still. And I will make sure it's not scheduled for Monday like the dumbass mistake I made. On this past Sunday. I will make sure that that video gets out to you guys on Sunday morning, hopefully. That way you guys can get weekly expected moves. Patreon members, we will be updating weekly expected moves Sunday morning as well, so make sure you have those notifications on for Patreon. But I do appreciate you guys being here today. Thank you guys so much for contributing in the chat, liking the channel, liking the video today, subscribing. You guys are fantastic, and I wish you nothing but luck with your trades today. But luck doesn't have a big thing to do with it. Why? Because you're accountable, you trade like water, you're aware of the risk, you're aware of the reward, and it's all on you. And isn't that nice? You are in control of everything. You are in control of when you buy, you are in control of when you sell, and that's a great, great power to have. And all you have to do is decide if something is a good or bad decision, and trading like water can really help us out with that. So thank you guys so much for joining today. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace out. Will moves still come out Friday? Yes, the daily expected moves for Friday will come out Thursday night. Thursday night. And I will tell her for you, IYC man. So thank you so much for saying that. I will tell her that all of you guys, even though all of you guys aren't saying it, I'll tell her that all of you guys say happy birthday, okay? February is, it's a rough month for Lucas, I tell you. It is a lot of birthdays, a lot of Valentine's Days, and 2 girls. So yikes. Thank you guys. Have a fantastic day. Seriously. Have a great day. If you had a good trade today, why don't you treat yourself a little bit too, right? Give yourself that little reward. Put that positivity back into your stomach. You know what I mean? All right. Peace out, guys. I'm out of here.